What's going on, people? Welcome back to United View and welcome to episode 59 of the Trinity podcast. Sorry, man. If you're going to enter the... No, mate.
I was dancing, mate. I was not even... That's a good song, you know. We got like the best intro song out there. Let's have it right, because it doesn't matter what happens. You're going to dance to it. Well,
vibes. It's fine.
You are. Yeah, you are. I thought something else was going on because we can just see the little boxes at the bottom, and it started, and I could see him going. Like you missed it, guys. You missed. It was really intense before it came on. I saw him doing this.
And then he comes in and don't even drop the bombs in time.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. Again, it was
big up to all of you, man.
I had the DR Sports set up. I was on Best of Enemies.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God! Can we push forward and just say, make sure on Best of Enemies today, Ty, me and Ty. Imagine, you know how I feel about Arsenal. You know how Ty feels about.
Yeah, of course. But why are you not playing each other? What? Just
because he was just there, and I thought, fuck it.
What? And Don Robert as well.
Don Robert was there, yeah.
And X.
No, X.
Okay. Well,
so it was like a calling.
He's still missing.
A late sub.
Still missing.
Yeah, he managed to miss it again. Obviously, seeing yesterday's results. So anyway,
that's nasty. Wait, is he still in Mexico? Or is he back?
No, he's back. That's
what I mean. Because I saw him last night on the stream. Yeah.
Nasty work. But he's done the April Fool's thing as well, though. So maybe it's true.
Yeah. Nasty work.
Missing appeal goes into its.
He said it could be a recovery thing. He said it could be a recovery thing.
Oh my God! It's an undercover carpet thing.
Is it recovery? Is it?
Now stop sidetracking us, man. This is a Trinity podcast, and we need to start the Trinity podcast. Carpet thing. Right, listen. Let's get into this. Episode 59. I love Owen. Carpet thing, though. It's a rap thing. It's a carpet.
He's just trying to well, guys, we won the SJA. Let's move on.
Yeah. That's always in the back of my mind now. Whenever we're foolish, I go, don't need to be. What? You're a journalist for what?
Do you know what? There was a moment, when Owen turns to me when everyone's running their VTs and he goes, "What did we send?" And that goes.
I honestly, when the videos were coming up, because it was twofold. It was one, they were doing these clips, and I went, "What did we send?" And then we went to you. We went, "What did we send?" And then you went, "Josh sorted it." And I went, "Oh." I went, "Who?" I went, "Who sent it?" You went, "Josh." I went, "Have you seen it?" And you were like, "No." I went, "Fucking hell!" I was like, "It could be anything."
Do you know what? The funniest thing is? Do you know what the funniest thing is? I hadn't even seen it.
That's what I mean. I hadn't
seen it because it was a race against time to get the entries in, and I received very high praise for a few phone calls about our entry. If I'm honest with you, got calls back after saying, "Listen, your entry was amazing. It was the perfect." When we had the award in our hand and we was walking across the thing, a few of the judges came up to me. I forgot to tell you guys this. Came up to me and said, "Have to say, Flex, honestly, entry was just brilliant. It was a perfect blend between, originality and creativity and all these great descriptions of how good the entry was." And I was just looking at Josh. I was just looking at Josh like this, thinking this guy has just killed it. But he's just, here we are. It's moments in time. Beat Gary Neville.
Gary Neville. Anyway.
Let's get into the show. But before we do, in a proper way, this show is brought to you by Gowan Life, as you can see there, and Oxford Natural. The QR code is on the screen, and you can scan it for up to 70% off. And you might be thinking, up to 70% off of what? It's up to 70% off your digest supplements. If you've got issues with your gut, with your digestion, and actually, not even if you've got issues with it. It's actually good to use if you haven't got issues and you want to maintain, that. You know what I'm saying? Pre-post biotics. Check it out. The link is in the video description below, and pro as well. Pre-pro and postbiotics. The link is in the video description below, and the QR code is on screen. And we also have linked the video with Dr. Andre, which explains exactly what Digest is all about. So that is the latest product at Oxford Natural and Gowan Life. It's doing great stuff. And make sure you guys check it out. We're giving you up to 70% off your first order using code UnitedView. Yes. 70.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling none of the truth. Yeah. All right. I'm telling you guys the truth. So final time, link in the video description below if you check it out, or scan the QR code, up to 70% off. The presser earlier today. Ruben said, I need 1 or 2 big players.
Ooh.
He said, I need 1 or 2 big players. I'm not trying to do a madness, but I do need 1 or 2 big players and kind of go from there, etc. It's really clear.
It's really clear. really.
It's really clear.
Now leave Ruben, man. Leave Ruben alone, man.
What do you mean leave him alone? You're the one that started that impression. It's really exactly.
Whoa. You see that?
You are.
You see that?
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. I did the morning show this morning. Yeah,
I saw.
I got a lot of comments that said, "When is this court appearance?" They feel like you're trying to duck it. They feel like you're trying to avoid it. Now, I had to think about this.
Yes.
I feel like should the court day actually come after the season is technically over for Manchester United, right?
Yes.
Because that the outcome will be very different with that, mustn't it? Because let's say Manchester United win the Europa League. Then it's like, Flex, you said Ruben should change, and look, we won something. If we're like, let's say after the Lyon tie, we're out of the Europa League, then the context is a little bit different, isn't it? Of going, you said change, yes, but maybe should we have changed, etc., etc.
So that would be nasty work from me though, because
that's your way of that's your way of being not guilty. That's your way of being not guilty.
Well, end of the day,
no, because I'll be honest. I'm not even really trying to make that point. I'm not. I'll be honest.
Listen,
you are though. You're trying to get off charges.
Oh my god, guys, it's getting serious. You know, let's have it right. Some people are against the manager. People left like after the last game. You know that Nottingham Forest, bro. Stuff is happening. I'm starting to hear of a wait. Hold on. It's called the APA, the Amorim Protection Agency. Now that's the the APA. I didn't create that. I think that's created by Brush or Court. I can't remember. Yeah, bro, it's getting dark. Because some people are saying, can we give this man money? Especially now. Look at these. There's players, that we want. It's good because it all encompasses the conversation that we're having today, right?
You mean APA as in Farouk and Bradshaw?
Aqualite Protection Agency, bro.
Yeah.
Amorim Protection Agency.
As in Ron Simmons, who does that.
Now again, there's leaflets going out to join the APA because they feel that I'm just saying there's leafleting stage. That's what is going on. But hear me out now, guys. Yes, because this is the thing, right? Basically, people are asking the question. We're going to get Garnacho looks like he could be surplus to requirements because he might not
sold his house.
He doesn't fit the system. Kobe potentially doesn't fit the system. But we're playing a system that not a lot of managers play. And the question is, do we get rid of those players, bring in these new guys for this man not to be here in the future? Because it's not a system that anyone can play.
We're getting multifunctional players, though. That's what we were trying to change. Look at Lenny Yoro, for example. He could play in a 4. He could play in a 3. You know, when you look at Dorgu, he can play as a left back. He was for Lecce. He could play right wing. He was for Lecce. We were trying to get Kenda. He's playing all across. So we're not trying to we're getting players that are multifunctional players. That can actually
how easy is it for us? I'm with you, Fleck. How easy is it for our community? I hear you. For us to say, these guys are jack of all trades, masters of none. How easy is it for us to quickly turn that they're multifunctional to they're not even good at their main function? You know us, Man United fans.
Yeah, I hear that. This is all about recruitment. If we need to look towards Ineos, we keep getting wrapped up in managers. We need to look towards Ineos. Yeah, I'm hearing noises. We need to look towards Ineos.
Noises.
And the reason why we need to look towards Ineos is because of this exact discussion / argument or debate. Yeah, because it shouldn't matter who the manager is. Don't get it, you guys are here in situ telling us you've built a proper football department. Omar Barada, Christian Vivell, Wilcox, etc., etc. Yeah, so it shouldn't matter who's the manager. You get players who can, yes, of course, that the manager's earmarked because it can help him for now. But it's also your job to do the due diligence for us to change, and get players that if Ruben left tomorrow, these players can still work.
Can I ask Owen a specific question then? Because now we're hearing all what Fleck is saying right now. And Owen, you've seen in recent times, they're saying Rashford's making the manager look stupid. We've now had Elanga revisionism. If the manager says, you know, obviously players like Kobe and Garnacho are surplus requirements because they don't fit into a system, and they go on and leave and go on. What happens? How are we going to act as Man United fans? Because yes, you're saying just say Ineos this, but what's your feeling of how we move forward with this thing?
Well, how we acted in January when the Garnacho stuff was happening. So, for instance, when the Garnacho stuff looked like it was really going to happen, I can't remember what game it was specifically. Every time Garnacho touched the ball, KG, you had a meltdown. Every time. Like he would do a run and KG was like, it's a generational run. What are we going to do? It's a generational run. Like, that's what it will be all over again. With his quote, with what he said in the presser today, he did sort of temper expectations. He said, I'm not saying we're going to win the title next year. I am not crazy. So, lest it be known, if there is anyone predicting us to challenge for the title next year, I'm looking towards you, Kevin Gary, because you've got precedent.
One strike away, mate.
You've got well, not even that. I mean, I don't know if you guys have actually seen this week.
He's measured. Right? Don't need to look towards him.
No, measured.
He's measured. He told me he's measured.
Okay.
He told all of us he's measured.
Okay, well, this is from earlier this season, right? This is from earlier this season.
Oh no!
I've gone to second, man. I've gone to second.
Second.
Yeah.
What? You was even at third?
Of course I was. I was holding it back, bro. I've been holding it back, bro. I've been holding it back.
It's fourth at best.
Flex, can I sell you the dream of why we can finish second?
I'm listening. Go on.
Can I sell you the dream why we can finish second?
Right. Tell me why we're going to finish potentially ahead of Arsenal or potentially ahead of City, whoever wins the league.
We're going to play higher up the pitch.
In second.
We're going to play higher up the pitch. We're going to face less shots on goal, for sure. Now he's brought in a lot that he knows he can actually play the Ajax United way. Yeah? The Ajax-ish way. Remember he said he didn't have these players. Now he's got the technicians in there. Another thing that we do have is competition up front. If we can like clean sheets, bro, and score, like, I don't know, like if we're doing the 1-0, 2-0 here and there, we will be a force.
We will be a force.
Guys. Look at that first comment there.
Yeah.
What level of delusion
is this?
Now hear me out, Fleck.
KG the football score.
Now hear me out.
Good.
Hear me out. While
so we'll just to clarify, if we have a good summer, KG, we are not going to win the league next season. We are not going to be challenging for the league this season. It's not going to happen. All right. It's not going to happen. Ruben says, I want to focus on our strengths, bring 1 or 2 players, big players. I cannot manage, quote, in 4 years, we will try something. We need to be so much better. This is a massive
That's what I was going to say to KG. Why is he facing the same way we're facing?
Bro, we're looking at you. We're looking at you. I feel there's another KG you're talking to because you can't be talking to me, mate. That's what I was looking for.
I can't be talking. Do I need to play the clip again?
No.
Second.
Guess what? You know,
the best thing was he improved his prediction. He went, I've gone up to second.
Yeah. Do you know what, though? I'm letting you know now. If we have a great summer, me, Mr. KG the comedian, we're going to do this.
No, you can't. You can't.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not. No, listen, I've matured. I told everyone, I don't know if you lot have noticed, but I matured the last 2 to 3 days ago. I've matured, man.
Matured? Why? What's
Yeah,
changed?
I just no matured. Man.
Let's actually we should probably actually do this when it comes to that video. Let's have a look at the comment section, shall we? Let's have a look at just what some of these things are saying.
No.
Man said United will finish second. Katie is basically the Mika Richards of football YouTube. Very limited ball knowledge. Great guy though.
Great guy though.
Bro forgot to add one before the free. So sold a dream, but got an absolute nightmare. You have to feel for him.
This ain't fair. This ain't fair because this is like the fresh comments. We need to, when I said it, like we need the video of that because then there better be people that are agreeing with me, right? Surely.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for context.
This is not. Yeah. This is not fair.
It's easy for us to say it now because we are currently fair.
Okay. We'll go find it.
Cross-reference. Do you know what we should do? Well, cross-reference the people that are cussing me now to the people that agreed with me then.
Yeah,
that'll be some special stuff as well because we'll find some real.
And the real truth is as well, like even laughing at you and saying you're a wally for saying that. Like I said, I think I thought we could finish 4th at best. We've ended up finishing 14th. So we're all everybody in Man. No Man United fan in the world said we'd be 13th or 14th this year. So everybody's in the mud, really.
Yeah. But
even if you said we'll finish 7th at best, 8th. No, mate.
Those are the ones that probably deserve some credit. But then we just be like, but it's dark, bro. It's a dark season. But again, if we get into the Champions League, everything people said is wiped away. I think Champions League wipes away the record. Absolutely, because guess what?
No,
Flex?
it doesn't. It doesn't wipe away the record.
Champions League is gonna wipe everything away.
It doesn't. You know why it doesn't? Because recently, we've taken so many licks from thinking that because of a short-term fix, like it means this. I think a lot more people will be skeptical of like saying, I ain't doing that again. And really, I say a lot more people. I'm definitely speaking for myself. I'm not entering there again. I will enjoy. Listen, if we win the Europa League, I was on DR saying we're definitely going to win yesterday. I'm saying we're definitely going to win. I've said I'm saying we're going to win it. We'll be in the Champions League. Yeah. So because it's been so bad outside of here, I'm telling everyone we're winning it. Everyone.
Oh no, so I've gone different. In my maturity, I'll let you look low. And it's so funny because Owen just attributed how I was acting in January. And there's things I actually have to apologize for. I was really mad about the Tell thing. He's not good enough. I was really sad about Tell not signing.
I was when I first heard it. I said,
I was furious.
I heard it live. I heard it live when I was on stream.
Yeah. I was so upset. Like, and watching him play, I'm like,
it's nothing.
Probably a good save of 5 million, to be honest. Well done, Ineos.
What they gave the manager? What they gave him? Why couldn't they give him like 5?
So that I got that one wrong. And then guess what, guys? I've decided maybe this could be for the next bit because I'm not sure if Owen is finished finding what he's looking for. I've decided something.
Yeah, well, I'm looking, and all the comments don't really talk about that. They just talk. There's a lot of dance hall references, so I'm having to go find it. Actually, the live chat.
That means they might not agree. That means they're not angry about it. That means
I'm going to the. I'm trying to find the moment in the show. I'm trying to find the live chat. See what the live chat was saying at the time, because that's the best representation.
No, but the people that go back,
the people haven't come back. Yeah,
the fact that people were in there. So there were some people saying, you know what, not a crazy take.
Bro, if Owen's had to search this long to find the thing,
it
means let's be real, it means the general consensus of what was going on, they were more interested in whatever dancehall thing was going on.
And Flex, remember, anytime you say something that the audience people don't like, they'll tell us early. In the comments, you'll see 100. You'll see, if I said something that everyone was vehemently against, you'll see 100 with 100 likes to it as well.
You know when you've had one. You know when it's easy. It's very... You only have to look for.
It's very clear. It's very clear. It's really clear.
6.2 seconds there of scrolling through the thing will tell you what it is.
What kind of show you've had?
Yeah, Owen's been on there for about 5 minutes now, and we haven't seen.
Yeah, I've just got like KG doing a remix of him with Andy Tate going with doing a title charge. So I don't know what.
Yeah, it's probably the first time you dropped that. That's what I'm saying. So.
Here you go, mature. Yeah. Here's the maturity part, right? I realized something. And again, it flips. I have flip-flopped in this moment. Yeah,
we will do it.
You want to talk about maturity? You want to talk about maturity, KG? Yeah. I can't find the clip, but what I can find, right, was you doing this.
How do you feel about the signing? Secondly,
just give it the light and pass to the low. Cubby's gonna run the show. We got Sexy and Garnacho. Everybody wanna up me now. United, 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 United. Hold on, Andy Tate, talk to them. One more time, Andy.
They're doing a style job.
Come on, Andy.
They're doing a style job. They're doing a style job.
Yes, Andy.
Style job. They're doing a style job.
United, United. Wow.
So that really was the main takeaway from the video, was the hyping up of Delict. Really. Yeah. And Delict's got on title. He's been good.
Yeah,
so.
but Delict and Mazraoui was
They've been all right. You know? So
There you go. So I mentioned
you're out, Joe. No charges. No charges.
Yeah. I mentioned another player that Owen was correctly saying, you know, when we were selling him before. I was ready for him to stay, and I was like, what are we doing? Guys, I've changed my mind on Garnacho. I've changed my mind on Garnacho, and there's 3 players actually I've changed my mind on. 3 players. Now, this is not hatred. This is not anger or anything.
No.
I want you to know this. I've actually, is it still there? Is the shirt still there yet? The shirt is still there. Xerxes, Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho. I'll be ready for them to move on.
I hear you.
Xerxes included in that.
Xerxes included in that. I've got this thing that I've decided mentally in my brain that I'm going to share with you guys. If Moreno scores more goals in all competitions than these 2 players, it's just not going to work for me.
Would Moreno score more than MFE played for us though in this team?
I got a feeling he might.
Would Rasmus score more if he played for Arsenal?
I saw Maguire being a threat and a problem, and I thought,
is that just because we went direct though to his head?
Yeah, we did, but then they don't trust him enough to go direct into Rasmus. They never decide that they're gonna do that. I feel Xerxes Xerxes is a very good player, but then if we're now building a team that Agati is gonna play in the what we call it, the 6 next to him, or the 8, however you want to describe it. Agati's playing one position. Bruno's gonna be the next guy. Yeah. So then after that, I need to go into the 10s. I need volume from my 10s. And the problem is, I've already got a problem with my striker. My right 10 in Garnacho doesn't score enough. My left 10 in Xerxes doesn't score enough. I'm not going to get enough from the wing backs. Is Dorgu going to become a 12, 15 goal guy, or no? I don't think so. I don't know if you lot are seeing a 12 goals, I don't know, or GA in this season, if he's going to get plus 12. Is that going to happen? Maybe Ahmad, you can probably say in that position, but there's not still, you're looking for numbers. So then guess what? Then we have to make certain changes to those players to get that delivery, right? I don't think, is Rasmus going to score us 20 goals next season as the 9? We can all probably agree.
I disagree on Xerxes though. I mean, I think I'm fine with Højlund to go. He's on my list of players that I think he should go. Garnacho, I don't have a problem with him going because I think financially it makes sense. I don't see how he fits into the Ruben system.
That's the problem. That's why I only reject them, these guys.
And I think also that, you know, I think he would probably, depending on where he would go, I do think he would do quite well because I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's as bad as people make out he is.
Yes.
But I would keep Xerxes because out of those 3, I think he's the one that probably fits the best. I think in the last few games, maybe not so much against Forest, but I think finally we've actually profiled him. The biggest mistake we made with Joshua Xerxes is we signed a player as a striker, and he's not. The more you watch him, he is so not a striker. If anything, he's closer to, you know, when people criticize Bruno for not being techie enough, you know, in the 10, that's what they think, that's what they want in that position. They want someone like Joshua Xerxes, like neat and tidy, kind of plays like he glides around the pitch a little bit, lay off touch, pirouette, you know, and his touch is good. And I do think if he had, like you said, better volume players around him, if he had a number 10 next to him that was more direct or scored more goals, and a striker that was more clinical and got into good areas, I think he would actually function really well in that team. Because even though he didn't play great on Tuesday, when we were saying about in the first half, oh, that was a good move, that was a good move, near enough, he was involved in that. He might not have been the pass before the ball into the box, whatever, but
he helps you play better.
It'd be like link up, give it to Dorky, but the cross wasn't good.
Enough,
but
though.
it's not. And
I think with players around him, I think with players around him, though, that will make a difference.
When we did that sell list, though, that 5, remember by the end of it, I said, you see them 3, you see our 3 attackers, because we only have like 3 out-and-out ones now, and then, like you say, the wing-back's got to be like high volume as well. I said, no defenders are scared of them. None.
That's the problem.
Xerxes, Garnacho, Højlund. No defender ever in time, I think, are going to go, shit, Xerxes coming. Shit, Garnacho.
But what if you had? What if you had a high-level striker in there that was dangerous, and he played like alongside, let's say, Ahmad in the 10? Because he would play balls through to Ahmad, who can score. He does score goals. Yeah. He would play balls through to the striker, who we'd hope would be more clinical. I think out of those 3. I think
he's the least out of those 3.
That's what I mean. I think you're looking at the Garnacho going and products and then you're looking at Højlund being like, oh, he's just wrestling too much. He doesn't get involved.
Højlund's not wrestling
100%.
Højlund's not rest in his last 2 games. Højlund, like even the Nottingham Forest one, he wasn't even bad. He was linking the play quite good as well. But I'm saying it's not enough. Like Xerxes obviously ahead of these guys. Xerxes ahead of these guys for sure, right? But even in saying that, guys, what we're talking about is I get when I don't want to be in that unlocked era. If we have this player that can do this, that'll help that man's game. I can accept that for Ugarte, because Ugarte's main role in his team is to break up play, give the ball to the better players. So he's not actually in there to score or assist. If he can chuck in with one, help out, brilliant. But that's not his main function. So that's cool. It's the other players now, and now knowing that we kind of need Bruno to play deeper. If that front 3,
they need to be killers.
We need total killers. We need people that can make their own trade.
He's always going to drift. Xerxes not even going to get you assists, really. He's going to, like, he might hit a bit of good form where, like, in front of goal, he's scoring more, like, the little bits here. But the truth of the matter is he's always going to be, like, a nice player, nice on the ball. You know what I mean? Little nutmeg, keep the ball well. And he could be a squad player. Like, he could be
that's my point. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't sell him. Because I feel like out of those 3 we've named there,
I wouldn't be mad.
He's still got Garnacho. Though, Owen. That's the thing that I'm talking about.
Højlund, Garnacho. Well, I would argue that Højlund and Garnacho got more value in Italy than Xerxes probably does. Garnacho definitely does.
Team of the season last year.
Garnacho definitely does. And Højlund, they're looking for strikers. I just think if you name those 3, I'd look at Xerxes and go, well, out of those 3, I think he fits in the best of what Amorim's trying to do.
Yeah, he does. That's
Garnacho,
true.
Garnacho, we're saying, and we can't get rid of it. Well, I don't know. Have we seen Kobe in the 10 play as well as we've seen Xerxes play?
Can Kobe do what Xerxes can do in the 10 is the big question. Because if he can, then he can. That's like
he did it against FCSB, but that was a shit opposition, and we needed to see it in the Prem. Then he started him in the 9, and then he started him against Leicester, and he wasn't good, and then he got injured. So we don't know.
But then I might be able to get that from Kobe in terms of because Kobe can be neat on the ball and tidy. Kobe should be able to play the 10 and not expected to score loads of goals. Right?
So
he should be, he should be. So now I'm like, when it comes down to things like value and stuff, it would really hurt me to get a Langard by Kobe Mainoo, because it will just feel like the stupidest thing a club's done. You saw how talented he was. You saw him go and play in a final for England. Everyone can see this guy's quality, and then Man United say, no. And that would hurt more than a Langard one. Doesn't really hurt me too much because I remember the feeling and the time and how everyone was.
And the football he's playing as well. Like Langard's playing kick. Like he's my guy. He's my son. He's playing kick and run football, guys. Like sit back in and kick and run. Let's not like this whole thing again. The media does it. Oh, look now, you should have kept him. What would if you asked Langard to like sit in the inside 10 and play on a half space and turn and do all this? No. Like Nuno goes, listen, we sit off, then we go that way. That's it. Rashford would be wicked at Forest.
Garnacho would be enjoying. Garnacho would be enjoying
at Forest. You can't Hudson-Odoi be like that. So I know he's better. Hudson-Odoi better in product. I get all this, but like, I'm just saying to the people that are saying like, yeah, see a Langa. Nah, man. Like, you know what I mean?
I think the copy stuff's
athletic.
largely scaremongering now. I don't see him leaving.
I'm cool with him. No, but I'm saying if he was to leave, I don't think Man United fans can. Everyone can see. You see how they're basically trying to rebrand Rashford to us as fans and saying, "See, look how good he is." And we're now saying, Man United fans are almost knocking their head against the wall, saying, "We know he can do this." No one is not saying Rashford can do this. We're talking about how consistently he does do this when he was wearing a Man United shirt. We see that this guy scored 30 goals before, but then he's also had a season when he scored 8 or something, or not been involved or walked. We remember that's the part that no one wants to hear that part. We have to
this is the point, KG. This is the point. With all of these things, they're more complex than just one simple issue. Like I mentioned it this morning on the Morning View. You want this whole thing about young players can't succeed at Manchester United. You look as why is that the case? And there's multiple different reasons. One reason is Manchester United have failed to foster an environment in which a young player can succeed. They have failed in that regard. Now,
that's probably the biggest one.
Part of the failing also is when we're looking at younger players like Rashford or like say Cobby or whatever. In the past, they've given too much too soon. You're going to be a good player. Big contract. What have you got to aspire to? Nothing. There may be been things happening outside of the training ground that have been tolerated. Therefore, I'm at Man United. I'm a big player. I can do what I want. So again, that's a failure on United to foster that kind of environment. And it's also a failure on the players of thinking that I play for Man United. I've made it. It's also a failure on those players that they can go to those other clubs that have less pressure on them. And this is what Amorim was kind of saying. And they can succeed. Well, again, that's not the flex you think it is by going, wow, he can don't know about Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa. Whilst they're doing better than us now, they're not bigger clubs than us. Now the people are talking about Marcus Rashford or Anthony Elanga doing well. It's because they're ex-Man United players. It's how we see it in the summer when we get linked to a player. The next day, another club buys them and they'll go ex-Man United target, so-and-so signs for this club. It's just about having Manchester United in the headline because it's the currency of getting people talking is the phrase Manchester United. So when it comes to all of this stuff about players succeeding elsewhere, it's on them. It's also on us. But I do also say that we can't look at their succeeding elsewhere as this like, wow, that's all Manchester United's fault, because it's also not. There has to be accountability on all of these different parts of it. And when it comes to people like Garnacho, like I said, I think he'll end up going because he doesn't fit. And I don't know. I get the impression, I lean towards those people that were saying in January of, well, it wasn't like, Garnacho and his people weren't soliciting a move outside Manchester United. Because they don't just start. No, they don't just start. And but that didn't get brought up enough during January as well, KG. That whole thing, the narrative that was being pushed around was that like United, they're shopping him around and they're pushing him out. Whereas the reality also could have been that Garnacho and his people were like, I don't really fit here. I got left out of the Manchester derby. Maybe I need to look elsewhere.
Yeah, it's time for me.
The copy stuff. It's not really the same, but I just see the copy stuff as them trying to, his people wanting to get a big contract, and United shouldn't give a big contract.
He could be confused though. I don't think we should play down like, because we don't know yet because he hasn't managed to play long enough. There is a bit like, this is just throwing it in there. We can't rule out that some conversations behind closed doors for him is like, where will you play for this guy though? What's he going to think? That is a thing. That is a thing, because when he was playing, we all went, and we know it's a thing as well, because even Amorim himself said, well, the 6, he said defensively he struggles with that. It's better to have him further forward. He can express himself. He was bigging him up in terms of that positional change, etc., etc. So we don't know how that's gone. So I do think he would have to consider that. But
if it was me, this is the other part of it going, where am I going to play? How am I going to fit in? My first thing to him would be, mate, get fit, play for a while. This season for you effectively has been a write-off. You haven't been fit near enough all season. It's been stop, start, stop, start. You've played too much football over the course of the last 12 months. You had a big injury this past
you got to get in
pre-seasons ago. Playing. Then you started playing around, was it October time under Eric? And then you had this great burst of football playing for England. Since then, he's barely got going this season. So that's why I'm almost like...
That helps the club's cause.
That's why I'm not even considering this whole thing of, contract or where's he going to play? I'm like, mate, until he can play for like 3 or 4 months solid again, That's when you start going, all right, where does he fit, contracts or whatever? Because it's like we're skipping too many steps ahead. No one's doubting his quality, but I think this idea of like, we can't lose him, generational this, generational that. I'm going back to, actually, where's the sample size here? Because he's had a good season. What's he done this season? And it's not just on him. Everyone's like that. But we are doing this thing again that we do with young players, where we are killing him with expectation. We are killing him with expectation again of being like, we cannot sell him. He is, like Flex said, indispensable to Manchester United. Look at what he's done. And the reality is you go, oh, okay, let's get him back fit first. He's got time left on his contract. Get him playing again consistently. And then it's time to have that conversation. We're working ourselves up into a frenzy.
I think we have to, it's difficult because I would love it to be as simple as he just plays some games and we can see where his value is. At the same time, he's saying to himself, I'm in this team and I'm the worst paid player in this team at the moment with what my body of work already. So you're talking about sample size. Currently, my body of work says I shouldn't be the worst paid player at this team. That's so that part of it still needs to be addressed. Are you with me? So it's
that's why the contract is up for discussion.
But I don't disagree that he deserves a pay rise. But this is the other part of it. When you go, my body of work, the natural pushback of that would be, well, it's a body of work, but it's not a body of work that says £200,000 a week or what have you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's why I would say that's why exactly. So that's why I would say if I was United, I'd be like, let's just keep it going for a little bit, and we'll have that chat. And also from a fan's point of view, we have to be really careful about putting these younger players on the pedestal so quickly, because that is part of the same reason 100%. Why your Rashfords have failed, why your Paul Pogbas have failed, is because they're either terrible or they're the greatest thing ever, and there's no room for in between. And that's the kind of pressure that Amorim's talking about, which is how can you live with that pressure? And even with Kobe before he got injured a couple of times this season, what were people saying? He hasn't started the season very well. He's looking a bit, actually, has the bubble burst with Kobe? And we just need I think we just need to pump the brakes on all of it.
No, but we can't. The killer is, and Mick I liked what he did in what he came out and said in that article, right? It was good. Because he was like, he kept it so honest. He goes, they don't care at Man United. You could have been 15, 10, 20. The expectation does not go away. There's just a standard expectation at Man United, and the fans will get on you if you don't meet that expectation. You could just be starting out your career, and I don't think that's going anywhere, unfortunately. So unless we are now accepting as fans, we're mid-table and we're happy with this mid-table mediocrity, which is never going to be the case. We're always going to strive for more. If Ahmad has a downturn in his form when he comes back from injury, people will be looking at him. This is just unfortunately why this club is so big, why Bruno Fernandes talks about it. There's people, they're going to talk about your game all the time. That's just how it goes at this club. If you don't want that, you're not a Man United player. And I think we now have to come into an understanding of, well, this is just what it is. We're going to get reported on differently, and we just have to, so it's sink or swim all the time. And if you're good,
that's what I'm saying. If it won't be tolerated, then it can't be tolerated that that you would give Kobe 200k a week or whatever based on a limited sample size. Now, even the Ahmad situation, that was different because United were up against the wall. They had to give him a new contract, otherwise he was going to be a free agent. They're not in that situation with Kobe, so that's why I just think this sort of thing about if he leaves, we're going to have a meltdown, this, that, and the other. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of whipping ourselves up into a frenzy that I just don't think will really exist. I think the Garnacho stuff is way more legitimate, like we saw in January. Like Napoli legitimately were interested, Chelsea legitimately were interested, and because you got to remember as well, Garnacho, he came to United from Atletico at a young. It's not like he's completely tied to the club.
That's why the connotations around Kobe are different.
But Kobe's different. It's different
because he did come through as a kid, been there since 6-7 years old. Obviously, the picture with his glasses in the hand.
I don't think he's going to leave. I think
it means something, but like it could easily be sorted. It could easily be sorted. But I just think because we're in a period, where we don't know how Ineos operate in these things. We ain't seen it before. So until we start seeing, we talk about body of work, until we see a body of work from Ineos that actually shows us, nah, this is what they tend to do. Nah, this is what they tend not to do. It's kind of fair game. It's kind of fair game. And for me, I think I agree the Garnacho one is a lot more likely to happen. I definitely agree with that. Obviously, reports today, even Chris Wheeler earlier on, as well as the thing from the Sun, he did something in the Mail, further talking about Garnacho putting his house up for sale. Said the United winger only bought a seven bedroom property in Greater Manchester last April, and he's discreetly put it up for sale. And there's a picture of the house as well. Mental. 7 bed, mate. 3.8 million he bought it for, and he's put it up for slightly higher of 3.85. The listing went live on the 28th of March, and the agent being used to sell the property has reportedly been asked to proceed by only posting one online photo so that the mansion is exclusively and discreetly marketed. So look, when you see that house is going up for sale and stuff, when you see, what happened in January and how Ruben was talking about that potential, he was very tight-lipped. He did not want to commit. So
this is the KG equivalent of him waving to the crowd.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. He's leaving. That means he's leaving. With him to Cobby, I think there's obviously more of a want to keep Cobby in. But I do agree with that generational thing of like, we can't say he's generational yet. We don't
have the evidence of that.
We don't know that.
No, well, there's nothing we can do about people coming back and saying
he's incredibly talented.
Because
there's nothing. Always going to happen, KG.
We can't do anything about it. They did it.
No.
I never believed in this world. Fans will come back and say with Anthony, look, Man United have missed out.
Bro, I had to cuss neutrals. You see the neutrals who say, look at you, like Man United spent 80 million on, he's the worst player I think we've ever seen. Them same guys are going, see, Man United's a problem. Look at him. He's doing all right now. You said with us that he's all the worst. The neutrals, the Arsenal fans, the Chelsea fans, that you scrub. You bought that scrub. He's worse than Pepe. He is the worst signing in player. Even Mudryk stumbled. There was all this stuff.
Yes.
He goes to Betis. These same men are trying to say, see how Man United is just the problem with everything. You might weren't saying it before. You were saying he's the worst player ever.
The Rashford one hurts the most for me, though.
Real Betis are in an outrageous form, by the way, though. They've won the last 5 games in Liga.
It's incredible. It's incredible. No, but why the Rashford one I find funny as well is because you're almost hearing fans now say that we always knew he was a top winger. When he played for us, and he was... So if you always knew he was a top winger, that means you believe he was a top winger when he was wearing a Man United shirt. But then they argue you saying he's not top. It's PR. It's everything but his footballing ability. It's the fact that he gives out free school meals and this, that, and the other. He took on the government. You guys remember that was the argument towards Rashford.
Yeah, it's PR.
We saw a downturn. Now he's doing it
now he's wicked.
Aston Villa shirt. He's
wicked again.
Wicked and
always wanted to see this Rashford. Knew this Rashford would be back. When all them were saying now, hyped up, we don't want
we're gonna have to deal with this.
But the opposite is like you said, the opposite is when he doesn't have a great game for Villa, or when Anthony doesn't have a great game for Real Betis. What do you hear? Nothing. It was like Jadon Sancho last year, all over again, and this season too. Jadon Sancho at the start of his Chelsea career, couple of assists. United the problem, blah blah blah. Then we heard nothing. It will be the same when Rashford goes off the boil. We will hear nothing. When Anthony goes off the boil, we will hear nothing. Because again, that's not interesting, is it? It's interesting to see the big bad Man United
go off the boil. Rashford as well, because let's not get this twisted. I'll tell you like this, it's my opinion. I'll tell you like this. I know this version of Rashford. He's going to play wicked to the end of the season. I'm telling you,
he's going to be brilliant.
He's going to be really good. He's going to be really good. He's in his bag. He's confident. They're tailor-made. They love him. Like Marcus Rashford, it's not like we ain't seen it before. When Rashford's been in them 3-month periods or whatever, he's unplayable.
He's playing with better attacking players than we've
way
got.
Better.
He should be playing better.
Yeah.
You've got Asensio that's scoring goals. This is like Asensio won Champions League. Asensio as up front. You got Ollie Watkins in there. You got Morgan Rogers. You got like proper. We would have any of those players I've just mentioned. They would all start for us. They would all start for us. Our players that are playing up front right now. Højlund, Garnacho, Xerxes probably wouldn't start for Villa at the moment.
Probably.
So again, that's when it gets into the context of it. Is going, he's playing so well. And you go, He probably should. He's got a better. He's in a better team. He's got a coach that's been there longer, and he's also got a coach that every single person in that team listens to. You don't have like United where you go, oh, can I actually play in that? Oh, 3-4-3. Unai Emery, he don't give a shit. He has got Aston Villa by the neck in that he can do what he wants. They're doing stuff now.
Oh, he's a better coach than Ruben Amorim as well. He's a better coach than Ruben.
Well, he's more experienced.
Talk about body of work. He's proved. Ruben's got a lot to do in this country to show that he's better than Emery.
So this idea of he's playing better at Aston Villa, shame on United. You go, he probably should. If he went to Aston Villa and he flopped, you'd be having massive questions about him. Going, you've gone to a better team almost, and you're not doing as well. He should be. It should be. The critical thing now will be in those big games they've got coming up, FA Cup semi-final, or let's say the Champions League. That will be the one. If he plays, well, they've got PSG in the quarters. PSG. If he does a madness, that's when you go, I'll tell you what. And to be fair, Aston Villa will be looking for him to do that because he's got the most experience, maybe apart from Asensio, in the Champions League. So Villa will be expecting him to do that.
He's going to score against them.
It's possible. That's not even guys.
Bro, I'm saying it's probable. It's probable, not possible. It's probable.
Beyond probable.
It's really probable. It's really probable.
Let's not get this twisted. Rashford in this form, under the lights at the thing when they're all on it, and Villa play well to catch it. Listen, he's scoring.
Trying to get that Barca move. Trying to get that Barca move.
He could do.
Rashford is playing well over 2 legs against PSG. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Are you lot ready though? Are you lot ready? Because you know how everyone cusses Hoyland and calls him like Hulk Hoyland and all this other stuff. Are you lot ready? Are you lot ready for Hoyland revisionism when he doesn't play for this club anymore?
Of course,
that's going to be the best. That one will take the biscuit because there'll be people that has argued with you and said the exact same things people said about Anthony. Watch out for that ones. Even Man United fans are Man United fans as well. Let's not forget our own as well.
Bro, what happens to Garnacho when he leaves? It's going to happen to everyone.
It's already happened. Do you remember the years? I mean, years that every time McTominay and Fred started, everyone got into a massive outrage because, and even though everyone knew they were going to start every game, Solskjaer would pick them. I can't believe they've started. You go, you can't. They started for the last 10 weeks in a row. Of course they're going to start. And now Fred, he went to Fenerbahce. We miss him. McTominay, he's gone to Napoli. I tell you what, we miss him. We will never change. I'm telling you, we will never change
until Man United get good, though. And this is what we have to take, which is our own fault. Until we start winning some serious stuff, where you go, City don't get this when players leave. You know what I mean? Arsenal don't really get this when players leave, even though Arsenal ain't won nothing yet. But do you know what I mean? Liverpool don't get this when players because they win. If you're competing or you win or you're a good team, no one looks at the players that ain't there, and we usually replace them with players in their position where you go, they're currently not doing better than them. Do you know what I'm saying? So until we fix all of that, it's
imagine going back to 2020 yourself and going, I tell you what, you'll miss McTominay and Fred. You'd be like,
they will tell you you're bloody liar.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll tell you are taking the piss, especially on the day when the team gets announced. It's like Nick Fred. You know how that was massive. Yeah. But moving on, guys, because it'll be our first game before the next Trinity in the main one. I'm not even thinking about the weekend derby. Sorry. That's probably really bad of us, but it's all about Lyon, right? How are you lot feeling? How are you lot feeling right now about that game? Are you warm into it? We're
winning the Europa League.
Okay.
We're winning the Europa League.
So,
we're getting past Lyon for me. No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. No. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Yeah. I'm full in. Listen, all the inquests and all the videos of rage of you said this, it didn't happen. I'll deal with that later if that comes to that. I'm all in. We're winning the Europa League. So this Lyon game be tough over a couple of legs. But not gonna be easy. Not gonna say it's easy. Walk in the park. Yeah. We're winning. We're
going to need your energy, KG. We're going to need your energy.
I am going to be on the touchline
over Bruno's dead body again. Trust me.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on in the Premier League. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to touchline that Simeone. Cool.
We're going through.
Yeah.
We're going through.
Nothing
Guys, it is the derby. It is the derby on Sunday, of course. KG will be there on the match view with Owen. with Owen. Hopefully, I don't know if Marcel's going to the game or pulling up with you guys.
I've sent him a message. He hasn't responded, but it means he'll probably be with us on the match view. So
yeah, because he's not respond.
Yeah.
Joining peeps. Massive game. I know, like, the league is not, but it's still a derby, man. We need confidence going into this Lyon game. We just lost the last game. I don't want back-to-back L's going into Lyon. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it means we can't beat Lyon if that happens, but it ain't great prep, is it? We need a good performance. So, yes, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Remember, Trinity sponsored Oxford Natural. Get your digest. The link in the video description below. And it's really clear. This QR code is really clear, and you can scan it for up to 70% off as well. Guys, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Take care. We are out of it. Peace.